Hello, welcome to this video where we will discuss connecting a Blue Open Studio Windows runtime to AVEVA Insight. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is on the machine that we are, in this case, the machine that we're running our Blue Open Studio runtime on, the first thing that we need to do is we need to open up the Studio Database Gateway. And the way that we do that is we go to the C drive, we go to Program Files, x86, the Proface folder. We go into the version that we're using here, which is 2023. We go into the bin folder. Inside the bin folder, you'll see a Database Gateway folder. Okay. Then if you go into that Database Gateway folder, if you scroll almost all the way to the bottom, you'll see this little icon here, the Studio ADO SVR EXE. Your view may be different depending on how you have your computer set up. And we're just going to go ahead and double click that. Okay, and nothing appears to happen, but what did happen is that now what you'll notice is down here in the corner you have a little icon in your system tray. Now if we go ahead and double click on that icon, you'll actually bring up the user interface for Studio Database Gateway. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into File, then we're going to go to the AVEVA Insight connections. Okay, and now you'll see I have the ability here to create a connection name. And what we're effectively doing is we're creating a database connection that we're going to use in a trend worksheet. Okay, so let's just go ahead in here and let's say we'll just call it video 1. We'll say add. And now it will try to connect. Okay, select your region. Okay, and now here you'll have the ability to, if you already have an account, then you can log into your existing account, or there's actually here a place to go and create a new account. And when you create on the new account link, what will happen is you'll get a couple of links to where you can basically go in and sign up for your own account. So let's just close out of that. I just wanted to show you what that looked like. Okay, then again, we'll go ahead and start from the beginning again. Okay, North America again. Okay, now this time we're going to say I have an existing account. Okay, so I put in my email for my existing account. And the password. Okay, and now we're connected to the Insight Publisher. So what we're going to do is we're going to give our data source a name. So we'll just use the same thing. We'll say video 1_ds for data source. Say next. Okay, I'm not going to define a location now. We'll just leave that. Okay, and now it's basically made the connection. Okay, so now what you have is you have the credentials for this video 1 connection name saved in your Studio Database Gateway. So that just note that those credentials are saved in the gateway. Okay, so I'll go ahead and close out of there. We can go ahead and minimize the Studio Database Gateway. So now, like I said, so now what we talked about is that what happens is when you create a trend logger worksheet, what we're going to do is, in this case, we're going to use an historian. We're going to go to the historian configuration. In this case, this is going to be the AVEVA Insight Publisher. And now we give it the name. Okay. So if we go back to our database gateway, if we look at our connections, it was video 1. Okay. I don't want to close. Let's just minimize that. So back here. So this is the connection name is video 1. Okay, what we can do down here is we could put a prefix on the data. So we'll just say video 1 again. And then you could also enable store and forward. You can also have a runtime status. We'll put something in here. We could put a status word in here. Okay, so let's just go back real quick and look what that looks like. Right, so here's our connection name. Here's the prefix that we'll add onto the tag. And then here's the runtime status, which will tell us what's happening. And then the gateway is local to this machine. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we just come in here and we can create some tags. I will just create my int, and I'll give it 5 dimensions. That. Okay, so you can see now what I've done is I've created 5 tags that I've loaded into this trend worksheet. And then let's create like a 5-second timer. Okay, so I'll create this tag. Oops. Okay. Create it as an integer. Okay. Save the changes. Let's go to the scheduler. Save it a name. Let's go to the scheduler. Create a new scheduler sheet. Clock. We'll give it. Oops. Put the 5. There's our 5 seconds. Five seconds plus 1. Okay. So we'll save that driver sheet. Okay. Now let's just come down in here. We don't need to make a screen. We can just put in some of our data in the watch window. Okay, so now you can see basically what I've done here in the watch window is I've got all my data. I've got my 5 seconds, and here's my status. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and actually pre-populate this data. Put something in here. Okay, so I've populated it with some data. Now let's just go ahead and run the project. Okay, and we'll keep an eye on it. Okay, so you can see now we've been running I've got 4 clicks of my 5 seconds counter, and here you could see in the status, you could see here that the system has made the connection to Insight. Okay, so now if I go into my AVEVA Insight account here, and I'm going to go, remember we made our connection name was video 1, so I'm just going to go ahead and search for that. Okay, and there you could see, and there's the tags. We can go ahead and just check those like this, and then we can just directly create content from there, and there's those 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 values. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and save this. I'll call it video content. Okay, save. And that's not. And here you can see here is that video content in my account here. So I'm just going to go back. We still have the project running. I'm just going to go ahead and change some of these values. Okay, so now you see the values are changed. Go back to my account. Refresh. Let's see how long it takes. Let's see if we can pick up the new values here. Yep, let's see. I think we got them. Scroll down, and there we have the new values. Okay. So just a little short demonstration showing you how this works. Actually, the I guess you could say the beauty of it is in the ease of use. So thank you for watching.